when I went to register the domain lockergnome.com for $70 way back in the day, like, mid 90s, I remember getting all excited thinking, someone's going to get it, someone's going to get it. Locker Gnome. I could have had any domain on the planet, and I chose Locker Gnome. Not Gnome. And it's been with me ever since. Why? It was a high school nickname, and I was all excited. I thought, someone was going to snap it up. It's a hot property. Little did I know. But there are people out there who do purchase domains, but then they don't do anything with them. They just sit on them. Or they run advertising on them, and they may have purchased a domain name that's spelled kind of like the domain name that is a popular one, and if someone runs a typo or types something in incorrectly, and it goes to the incorrectly spelled domain that happens not to be the official domain, then they're served advertising and pop-ups and just nasty stuff potentially. Well, the people who purchase domains and don't do anything with them other than possibly try to auction them off to the highest bidder or just serve advertising, they're cyber squatters. Someone in the chat room asked, well, what is cyber squatting? Well, it's essentially seeing a domain that may have a value, may not have a value, picking it up and then using it for just nothing, really. I mean, it's one thing to purchase a domain, then do something with it. But it's, something else to purchase a domain name, not do anything with it except for just knowing that you're going to serve ads on it. I mean, that really doesn't help the web. And I realize there are some out there who've probably got 10, 20, 30, 84 million domain names registered and do nothing but serve up ads on these domains. It boils down to what you want to do. I don't think that cyber squatting is a good thing. I think it does more harm than good. I know some people make it a very healthy living off of cyber squatting. I, however, try to keep the domains that I purchase at an absolute minimum. I have purchased domain names that I thought were kind of fun in the past, and I just kind of let them lapse. It's kind of like, this would be a fun domain to have, and then eventually just kind of let it go. At one point I registered gloat, GLO.AT for a while I had, and I was like, I could probably do something with it, and I'm like, you know what, I don't need it. It's gone. So yeah, I had, I didn't really use them for advertising necessarily, but some people, that's what they do. They buy domains that are high value, that have high value keywords, and they just sit on them like squatters. They occupy a space that is either not theirs, because they may actually take a name that's got a copyright or a trademark on it, and there's been cases where, I guess now if you use like a celebrity name, you have to pretty much relinquish it. You don't own it, and that's kind of gone to court. And I know someone who's experienced that, and the turnout, of course, was pretty good. At the end, it worked out for him as someone who was a celebrity. Not me, or anybody you'd likely know. The idea, though, I think is kind of evolving. You no longer. When was the last time you typed in a domain just to see what was there? I mean, have you gone to your address bar in your browser and typed in somethingrather.com when you're looking for those keywords? Some people might. But I'd argue that more people go to Google to find things. Or if they launch their web browser and it happens to be an MSN start page or a Yahoo start page, the first thing they do is search for Google. And then go to Google and then search the internet. It's kind of funny. It was interesting. Just the other day, the same people who developed just wonderful software for the Mac, well, at least, the guy, and he, Cable, I never hear these names aloud, and for some reason I can't, make the point, was mentioning that in Japan, they are not really promoting you spell it, by the way, CABEL.NAME, no .com. .NAME, because the .com was likely taken by cyber squatters, I'm guessing. But in Japan, they don't have URLs like .com, .name, .biz, .whatever. They have the keywords pre-populated in a search box in an advertisement. So if I'm looking at a billboard instead of saying the domain, it's got a search box with the keywords. So you look, oh, I just search for that and I'll find it. That's how I tell people to find me sometimes. If I'm out and about and they say, well, where do you have a blog? What do you do? I say, just go to Google and search for Chris. You'll find me. Because they understand Google. They're going to remember Google. That's how they remember. And I think I'm in complete agreement. I think eventually it's going to get to the point where, people are just going to search for things on keywords, and the most relevant or result is the one that's going to surface, and that's really all they care about is that first result. It's like press the I'm feeling lucky button. Google does a pretty good job with that. Of course, I still like searching for things, just to get all the results as much as I possibly can, and then filter from there. But it gets around the pain of cyber squatters who basically buy these keyword rich domain names and then just sit on them and serve up advertising, and it's lucrative. Otherwise they wouldn't do it, especially if they buy a domain that has a certain value to it because of its rank, or it's a fantastic key word that is a common word that people use, because you never know if they're going to type it into their browser and think that is it. And then when the advertising, let's say they buy a site called Mortgage Happy Fun Colorado. I'm guessing that's not taken. But if someone went to that domain, the ads on that domain would likely be targeted to mortgage lending brokerages in Colorado. So that domain is matched with advertising, and so they could buy the domain if it's available. I don't know who would go to Mortgage Happy Fun Colorado. I mean, I didn't think mortgages were that happy fun, but apparently it may be in Colorado. I don't know. I've only visited, and it was really dry. Like nosebleeds all the time. And at very high altitude too, so I tended to, I fainted a lot in Colorado. Dry, thunderstormy. More power to you, Coloradans. Coloradians? I don't know what you call yourselves. But if there are any cyber squatters in Colorado, knock it off! Anybody buying up domains that they just are sitting on, you're not doing the internet a favor. Sure, you're doing yourself a favor, so you're not going to stop, but you're just not helping either. And if you're not helping, you're not doing anything. You're just wasting space. Coloradishes? That's a good one. My email address is chris@perillo.com. Yes, I do happen to own perillo.com. Got lucky on that one. Got really lucky on that one. Picked it up again when I could have bought just about any domain name, and here I thought Perillo was going to be oh so popular. My, how times change. You're also welcome to swing by our website, where we're typically talking tech, and sometimes about words that pop up, not necessarily in domains, but terms that you may have heard floating around. I'll do my best to define them for you, and if I can't help, people in the chat room certainly will do their best, so long as you don't pester us, as long as you're a friendly chap, or chapel, like a female chap, belle, or even if you're from Colorado, we'll take you too. Stop by anytime, day or night. We're live, streaming on the internet, thanks to ustream.tv, at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.